They had only refusal to adopt his name. The honeymoon phase was over quickly for this couple. They fight daily and they don't see eye to eye. Anytime he gives her cold shoulders, she becomes dramatic and disrespectful. He asked his new bride to effect the change of name on her documents, but she refused. Even her bank details and other documents that had her father's name. She won't remove her father's name and replace it with his surname in all her documents. Things began to go awry. It was a depressing situation, especially because they couldn't move forward and build a home together. Judge Lynn Toller of divorce court once said, and I quote, "You know, marriage always requires compromise, there's no doubt about that. But when your partner asks you to change who you are, what you do, how you conduct your business, how you live, how you work, then that isn't compromise, that is a collapse." Marriage often requires compromising, but Judge Lynn says there are certain requests that will collapse the relationship. What other imposed upon changes hurt the marriage? When one spouse forces the other to make a decision, it hurts the marriage. This Nigerian couple have similar culture. They are from the same society. They have the same way of life, lifestyle, customs, and traditions. It is a common practice in Nigeria for women to bear their husband's last names when they get married, but it is not compulsory. This woman is adamant. Her husband is insisting on her changing her maiden name. One of the reasons was that it would ruin her followers on social media, her identity, and other things. Little by little they started feeling disconnected from each other because they couldn't reach a compromise. He was frustrated about the whole thing and didn't know what to do. She was headstrong. "No, I won't. Why should I change my father's name? Who is he? How dare he suggest that I change the names on my documents? I don't care." Their friends tried to intervene. They didn't listen to their family. Even their lawyers couldn't persuade them to hold on and give divorce a careful thought. There were only Mr. and Mrs. his name on their marriage certificate, but in reality she still retains her father's name. She said she'd rather divorce him than change her surname. And so it was that after 2 years he eventually decided to end their marriage. Their marriage was falling apart and they were too close-minded to give in to each other. It would have been better if she had told him before they tied the knot that she wouldn't adopt his name after marriage. If he knew it was going to be a tug of war, he would have asked her after he proposed to her if she would take his name. Since agreeing to marry him and taking his family name was very important to him. It's always good to be honest in your relationship, especially one you want to be in for the rest of your life. Let him decide whether he wants to be with you afterwards or go your separate ways. She's not your traditional type of woman and has refused to bend to his rules. Would he be patient enough and wait for her to change her mind? Or would he give up on her? I see why she is resistant to his desire, because it seems like he wants to own her. Changing her identity on paper would mean changing all of who she is. And she is arrogant. But would he give her time to accept his forceful demand? Would he be patient enough to watch her change, grow, and evolve along the journey and see if her needs would change? Stubbornness and pride first weakens the bond of marriage, then stretch it so thin it can easily snap. Why did they forget their wedding vows so easily and early on in the marriage? The vow that says, "I take you to be my wife or husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till death us do part, according to God's holy law. In the presence of God I make this vow." It is better not to make a vow before God than to make it and refuse to fulfill it. Obviously, this marriage lacked commitment. She was in the marriage, but she wasn't there. She wasn't in it to stay. Compromise and negotiation in marriage are very essential to a healthy relationship. Every marriage, especially the ones contracted between two people with strong personalities, need negotiation. Bargaining is a necessary antidote for a healthy marriage here. Have intentional discussions aimed at reaching an agreement. You make deals and listen to each other's candid opinions. Make compromises. Find a common ground or meet halfway, agree, and life goes on. You have to do this all the time respectfully, sincerely, and with many prayers. This issue should have been resolved if the guy was aware of her attachment to her social media followers. This is why I believe that courtship or dating isn't a time for physical intimacy, performing wifely role at a girlfriend's price, and all whatnot. It's a time for deep discussion about things that touch every aspect of marriage. But how can they know if no one tells them? It is through stories of other people's mistakes like this that we gain knowledge and more insight. Prayer also plays a significant role in marriage because, you see, my friend, marriage is a spiritual relationship. This story is one good reason you should seek God's guidance before you choose who to marry. Marriage is hard outside Jesus. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 4-7. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Proverbs chapter 1 verse 5 says, "Let the wise listen and gain instruction, and the discerning acquire wise counsel." Proverbs 11 verse 14 also says, "Where there is no counsel, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors there is safety." I hope she listens to good advice from experienced people. Both of them would regret their actions someday. If she meets another guy who wants her to adopt his name as a gesture of her love for him, would she? I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell, like, and leave your comments. Thank you for watching my video, beautiful people. Until next time, bye.